in this game. Not as many as the last one. About like 13 or so. And as always, if you have any questions about anything I do or say, feel free to ask on the chat, because during the review I don't have any delay, so I can actually look at it. So, starting off, East 1, 8th turn. So I was going open right here for at least Dora Yakuhai, or potentially even Dora 3 Yakuhai. And I had this nice 1-2 shape, or 2-3 shape, and then I drew the 6. I'm like, oh, I don't need that. But looking at the field, actually it might be pretty good. Mainly because I pawned the 6, and now with the 6, I have now a wall of the 6s, and so the 8 and the 5 actually become pretty decent. So should I switch this over for the 2-3? So looking at the number of tiles that we can see just from the field, this shape has 1, 2 out, and this shape also has 1, 2 out. So they're both equivalent in that manner. If we're looking at the number of tiles around them that they could be used with, for instance, the numbers of 2s and 3s and 6s and 7s, all the 6s are dead, so that's a really good benefit right here. 1 7 is dead, and 1 9 is dead, so that's not that bad. Also 6 was dropped from here. For 2 and 3, we can't see any 2, or we can see 1, 2 right here and no 3s, so it's a bit iffy right there. And for the 5s, see 1 right there, so I guess that could go either way. If we're looking at the Yakus that people have, this person has Haku. This person's probably going for Tenhou, so they can use like the 5 and the 8s a little bit easier than they can use the 1, but they can still use the 4. Which one? Kind of liking the 8-7 still, because 8's really hard to use, even if they are going for Tenhou right there. This person dropped the 6 as well, so they probably don't have any 8s or 7s, unless they dropped it from like Onko, which is technically a potential, but probably unlikely. Questions. My friend likes these kind of questions, so I'll send this to him. Second game. I hate winter. The sun goes down way too fast. And alright. Next up, East 2-1. First turn, 5th turn, and 12th turn. Oh, this shape was so beautiful. So even though it's like, wow, look, Honitsu, no, it's not going to happen. So mainly because the Dora is the 7, and we also have a nice floating 6 and 7 right here. Plus, most importantly, the pair that we even have of the Yakuhai tile right now is a guest win. So even if we pawn it, we don't get any value from it. So in this case, I can either drop the 1 or the West, probably. What benefit does the 1 give me? I can get the 2 and a 3, and that would make it easier to move over to Honitsu. But I was thinking, well, the 4 can use it, but the 4 is kind of already used up right here, so I think the West is actually better. In the game, I dropped the 1 because I was trying to be tricky, but yeah, I think the West is better right here. that way I don't lose the 2 and the 3, the full utility of them. Okay, 5th turn. Ooh, this one was, yeah, this one was also fun. So I got 1 Dora in my hand, I got a pair of the North Wind, which is 1 out, and I have a pair of the 6 pin. Currently I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 2 Shanten away. Do I drop a 6 right here and go... Actually, either way I don't think I should drop a 6, because if I look at it as like a 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, and a 6, 7 shape, then I should probably keep this around no matter what. So should I drop a 4 or a 7 or a 3? Or should I drop the west right there? I should probably drop the 3. I think dropping the west is a little bit greedy right here. Because we're dropping back down to 3 Shanten, like, at this point in the game, which is already the 5th turn. Even if we do get Tenpai later on, it's kind of unlikely. Someone will probably be in reach at that point, and we probably won't have any tiles to deal with the situation. So I'd like 3 pin a little bit better here. The reason I don't want to, and also why 3 pin over 4 or 7 is because if I get 4 or 7, like, those are great, but for this one right here, the 6, ideally I don't want this to become my pair if I keep this around, because if I get a pair weight on this, it's not super bad if the north still remains at that point, but it might be dead, and even if it's not, there's only 1 left, so it's kind of hard. So I ideally want to make something out of this 6, like a 5, 6 or a 6, 7, so keeping around the pair and throwing the 3 out here I think is actually pretty good. Yeah, that's a bit too much greed. And 12th turn. Hey, check this out. So I'm 1 Shanten, still right now, but someone's in reach and I've been kind of defending against them. And at this point I'm like, well, do I want to keep like pushing? What can I do with this shape? In the game itself I threw this safe tile that I had. Ooh, someone followed me. Who's that? Humda. Thanks for the follow. So, let's see. What do I want to drop here? In the game, I'm like, oh, I can just drop the 7. It's a safe tile. But I was wondering, is there a better tile, specifically with this complex stuff that I see here? So, for instance, right now, if we look at the 6s, I can see all of the 6s. So I have a wall of the 6s. I don't want to drop the Dora because it's the Dora. And I can see 3 of the 8s. So if they dropped an 8 early on, what does that mean? Not much, because the Dora is the 7. So, what can I drop? I still can't drop the 5 and the 4 Sozu, because they're both non-Suji tiles, so they could still be waiting as a double-sided weight with those. 6 pins out, 4 pins out, 3 pins out. So I guess there is only 7 of the Manzu tile. Such a shame. But if I do get to Tenpai with this, I'd probably fight him. Except this shape right now is looking pretty bad because there's only 1 8 out and 2 5s out. So, yeah. Nils, what's up? Thanks for the follow. I don't think Howloon has followed me yet, so you beat him out. Alright. Next set of questions. East 3-0, 5, 7, 8, 9, and Dylan. And like always, if you have any questions about any of the terminology I use or anything in the hand, just mention it in chat and I'll reply. So, the turn. It's better that you did it in stream. I get to hear the wahaha. I added some custom emotes on what is this? Steam Labs for like all like the different actions. So we'll see if I ever actually get to see them. Alright, so what should I do right here? I think the answer is... Actually, what is the answer? Yeah, I think I should probably drop 9-pin. In the game itself, I'm like, oh, look, I have, like, you know, this shape and this shape. I can potentially keep this around to get rid of one of my bad shapes. But that was not right thinking, because I already have too many blocks. I have 6 blocks, if I include this 9-7 shape. And I already have another pair right here, so I should keep this shape alive. This literally does nothing for me. And the 3 right now, if I get a 4, I get a 4 in a row shape, which is really good for improving off of this shape right here. So, yeah, I should have dropped 9-pin right here. That was a miss in the game. And then I drew 4 next turn. I'm like, oh no, sadness. Alright. 7th turn. So I was wondering, should I keep a safe tile at this point and lock in this shape since we're going into the middle round? The only thing that I lose by dropping this 6 right here is the 8 and the 6. But technically there's still 4 tiles of each out, and also I do have a door in my hand that I could potentially use, so I think keeping around right now is okay. If we were like on the 9th turn or so, I think I should probably drop the 6, but right now, probably okay. And then this one. Ugh. So at this point, 2 2-pins came out, and so this shape is pretty weak right now. And then I got another 3 right here, which can technically be 2 shapes, being a 2-3 and a 3-5 shape. It's kind of iffy though, especially since the door indicator is the 4. But I think it's better than the 2 that I have right now. Plus, I don't really want to drop much stuff around the Dora, especially later on. And then I don't really need to keep the 3 over the 1, because the 6 right here can technically still kind of utilize a 4 and a 5, so it's not that much loss. Plus, we're going to the middle round right now. Other people look a lot scarier than I do as far as being closer to Tenpai. So yeah, maybe 3-pin. 1 pin is safer for a couple people. And it's like an early Matagi from this person, which is like, Matagi Suji is, if you have a, I don't know, 2-3-3 hand in your shape in your hand, normally you don't drop that second 3 really early on. So that means the 1 is a little bit safer to them. So I guess the 3 right here is okay. Then I got the 5, and now I'm like, ooh, I don't want to accidentally, you know, I don't want to, like, get to Tenpai and have to drop a dangerous 6 or something if someone reaches, because everyone's, like, pretty active right now. So I dropped the 6, but I don't know about that. A single 3 is one thing, but this shape right here is another thing. Because for this shape, if I get a 4, a 5, a 7, or an 8, instant double-sided right there, and I can improve on this over here. So I think I should be a little bit more greedy right here and drop the 1. But if I do that and like anyone reaches, I don't have anything to defend with, because if this person reaches, I have nothing. If this person reaches, I have technically a Suji with the 7. If this person reaches, I have the 7. Well, so I guess it's not that bad since I have the 7. So only one person do I get like really scared about. And even for that person, I guess I do have the Nakasuji, so they had dropped a 3 and a 6, and I have this the 3 and the 9, and I have a 6 right here. So yeah, I guess dropping 1 right there is okay. The balance of greed and safety is a very interesting one. Yeah, they're kind of like keeping that 6 around. The shape is just too bad. Plus I'm Bueller. It's only East 3. Yeah. And then 3 came out right here, even though 2 is kind of dangerous at this late in at this point in the game. instant Tempai for a 5,800 point hand, which is even enough to fight a non-dealer reach. So I do not mind that. They pawn that right there. 4 is a bit dangerous, but still, for what I have, it's worth. Same thing with this 8. The 8 was really dangerous because it's like not out yet. And this one is also pretty dangerous at this point. And then this actually ended up being their deal-in tile, but because I can confirm 5,800 points even against 2 open hands, like this is a no question push. Even though in this case I did deal into a Mongon, but generally speaking, I should 100% push that. Wait. When you fight the unknown, you just have to assign values to it. So, for instance, in the case of a non-dealer reach with Red Door or Mahjong, the estimated value of their hand is about 5,000 points. For a dealer reach, their estimated value is about 9,000 points. And so even if you don't know exactly how much their reach is worth, you can use that estimate to kind of get an idea of like what you should do and what you shouldn't do, based off what your hand is. Alright. East 4-0. Should I pawn the north? Looking at my hand, it's not that bad for pawning. I have a Yakuhai right here. The shapes kind of suck, so if I get a quick hand, that would be cool. And I have a pair right here, and I also have a couple of honor tiles to fall back on if something goes wrong. I don't know. The fact that I don't have any good shapes is a kind of a bad thing for me. If I have like one good shape and some bad shapes, it's not as bad, but in this case right here, I'm still 4 Shanten. If I call, I'm still 3 Shanten. It's cheap, it's far away, and even though I do have some tiles to work with, yeah, I still don't like calling from this early on. If I was a little closer to Tempai with a bit different shapes, maybe, but at this point I don't think so. Plus, I can still technically use like the red 5s, even though the door is a little bit hard to use, I can still technically use that. So it's not completely worthless yet. So I think passing that up is okay. Yeah, that one was an interesting hand. Then I end up folding against the reach anyway. By folding, I mean, hey look, I'm 1 Shanten with Sanonko Dora, my own wins, but then they Tsumo. It's pretty nice when you can just drop safe tiles for an obvious threat and still end up in like a good shape or something. Only fight when it's worth. Alright. Next question, South 3-0. 4th turn. So I opened up this hand early, going for a quick, Kwashite, just like a wash away hand. And I have 2 Ryanmen right here, but then I get this pair right here, and now should I drop one of these to keep these around? And I think the answer is yes. This is like A-class Shabo right here. Like, 9-pin and Hatsu are really hard to use. Compared to my 2 Ryanmens that I have, I think even getting to Tempai by calling these, this is probably a lot higher rate. Because I can call these from anyone. And whereas I can only call these from this person right here. Plus, even if I do end up with Tempai on this, a Shabo, a Yakuhai Shabo, which is like a pair and a pair, where one of your pairs is waiting on a Yakuhai, that right there has a winning percent against like Riichi and whatnot, or any like obvious like big hands, of like about the same as double-sided weight. I don't know if it applies right here though, because I do have a pawn of my West Wind, so maybe people would be a little bit more scared of like, oh, what if he's going for like, you know, Honitsu or something. But if I show that I'm not going for Honitsu or something, that might actually help me in that they would be willing to drop it a little bit more. Yeah, so Shabo is short for what is it short for? Shampon, which is just having 2 pairs and then getting a third triplet. And so if your weight is ever 2 pairs like that, that's a Shabo weight. Shampon weight, or Shabo for short. So yeah, right here I think I should probably drop one of these, but I think I should actually drop the Manzu first, because that way it's showing all 3 colors. It's a pretty good indication of, hey, this is not Honitsu. Don't worry about throwing your honor tiles. Which I think is what I wanted to do anyway, since this person was calling over here. They called with a 1, 2, 3, so what are they going for? They dropped 9, 9, and East right here, and a Manzu tile right there. So unless it's really like advanced already, it's probably not Honitsu, it's probably not Chinitsu, it's probably not Chanta or Junchan. It's probably not Sanshoku in that case, because they might inch towards Sanshoku and Junchan. So it's probably Yakuhai, of which if we look at the Yakuhais that are remaining, South has one out. I have Hatsu right here. So it could be Chun or Haku, or yeah, probably one of those two. So they could actually have the Dora, and if they have the Dora, that's kind of scary. Especially if they have like 3 of them in their hand. So getting a quick hand to like wash that away would be pretty nice. Of which, let's see what they actually did have. Yeah, so they had a pair of the dragon tiles right there. Alright. Next up, South 3-1. Third turn, reach. So yeah, from the very beginning of this hand, it was like, ooh, this, like, okay, what can I do with this? And then I drew the third pair, and it's like, well, I guess I'm going for Chitoitsu, potentially now. And Instant Tenpai right here. Now, I could technically pass this up and, like, Pon right here, because I can Pon the South, Pon the, what's it called, Hatsu, and then get a Honitsu, potentially. But I'm Instant Tenpai. If I take that, it's a little bit harder. 6 and 7 are hard to call, even though I can get 5 and 8 along with them. And plus, third turn Richi from dealer, especially with these point situations where neither of these people want to deal in. This person might fight, but that's okay. That's actually preferred. I don't think the Richi right here is bad. Plus, waiting on the 5 with Chitoitsu, it doesn't matter what your weight is, especially early on, because it doesn't change the chance that you're going to draw a specific tile. Which is normally what you're counting on, especially with early Chitoitsu, or 7 pairs. So, Richi right here with the 5 is pretty good. Richi, Tsumo, Chitoi, get Ura, then that's enough for an 18,000 point hand. Which doesn't quite put me in first, but almost. And then, or if I get like the red 5, that's still already a Mangan, and even without that, it's still 5,000 or 9,600 point hand right there. So, pretty solid, I think, to Richi this. Alright. Yeah, the cool thing about 7 pairs, though, is that your winning percent, like, a lot of people will wait for, like, a better weight for 7 pairs. But statistically, it says you actually probably shouldn't do that, because it doesn't actually change your winning percent that much. Plus, the faster you reach with something like this, the more benefit that you're actually going to be getting from it, and the higher your EV is going to be for the round in total. So declaring an instant reach with an early 7 pairs is pretty standard. So yeah. Next up, South 4, all of it. Okay, so before we even look at the hand, what is the situation on the board? Last place, Dealership. They have 4,200 points. Third place is 10,100 points behind us. In other words, they're more than a Mongon Sumo away, which is really important. And then first place is 13,500 points in front of us. So in order to get first place from them, we'd either need to hit them with like a direct Mongon, so 16,000 point difference if we hit them with that, because it's 8,000 points. Or we can get a Hanemon Sumo, 12,000 point Sumo, which would also put us above them. So which of those is easier? Probably the Hanemon Sumo, because they'll probably be playing defense anyway, because they don't have that much reason to push really dangerous tiles. So how do we get that with this hand? Well, Dora is the 4. We got a couple Yakuhai. We could technically go for something like Honitsu in an open hand or a closed hand. Let's see. So we can get open Toi Toi Honitsu, Toi Toi Honitsu, two more Dora. Or if we get like South and 5, red 5, that would work. We could get 7 pairs, Honitsu, Richi. We could get closed, Richi, Sumo, Honitsu, and 1 Urdora. The 4 is also a Dora, so that helps the Honitsu a lot. If we kept these shapes around, we could maybe get some red 5s, but we would need like Richi, Sumo. Even if we depended on the 1 Uradora, we still need 3 other Han to work with, so that's a little bit more harder there. So right here, now we have red 5, and it's like, okay, we could potentially use this, like in 7 pairs, if we get Richi, Tsumo, Chitoi, etc., etc. Or actually, any 7 pairs hand is a good chance of getting Hanemon, because even if you just get 7 pairs only, and you get Richi and Sumo, if you get Uradora, you're 100% guaranteed to get a Hanemon. So if you ever do need a Hanemon Sumo, 7 pairs isn't that bad. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. Now, got some options. So we got red Dora, 2 red Dora in our hand, 4 pairs. 7 pairs does look potentially okay. Richi, Sumo, 7 pairs, and 2 Dora. We already have a Hanemon. But 7 pairs is not super likely to come. So we'll see. I got the 3 right here. We could also still just go for a regular hand, like Richi, Tsumo. If we use both these in our hand and this, we could get Richi, Tsumo, Dora, Dora, South, and then 1 Uradora, and that's enough for Hanemon. But the South comes out. Do we pawn this and just go for it, or not? If we pawn this, how many tiles do we actually need for Tenpai? So pawn that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 3 more calls for Tenpai. So that's actually not that bad. East we can get really easily. 2 and 5, on the other hand, that's going to be kind of hard, especially since they're around the Dora, and these 2 people really need some points, so maybe I shouldn't call this one, at least for the first one. I think I probably should pass that up. In the game, I think I called it, though. Oh, no, I did pass it up. Go me. Then I got a 4. So now this kind of changes the dynamics as well, because now the 4 is a Dora, the red 5 is a Dora. So I could also just get like Richi, Tsumo, Dora, 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 Uradora. Probably drop this Hatsu right here. And then the last South comes out. Just con and flip some good shit. Yep. If only I had the power of Saki. Alright. So last South is out, so now this is like the point where it's like, alright, I gotta do something. Either A, I'm calling this and going for Honitsu, or I pass it up and I go for a closed hand. But even if I go for a closed hand here, is it super bad? Maybe, maybe not. My shapes are actually kind of bad, though, if I look for a closed hand, because, like, this shape right here is only takes in like these two, but if I get closer to Tenpai without completing it, it's only going to be waiting on one of those. This shape right here is really bad because it can only take in a 3 and a 3. And then I have my remaining set, which is either going to have to be building off this 5 right here, or building off of this east right here, because the souths would be dead. Whereas if I open this hand, what can I get? So instant call, I'm like 2 away from Tenpai. I can call east probably pretty easily, so I'd be 1 away from Tenpai. And then if I could get the 3, that would be Tenpai. But it would only be an 8,000 point hand, because I would have Honitsu, which is 2. I would have Southwind, I would have Dora, and I would have Dora. So that's 5. But if I get another Dora, if I draw another 4, then I could switch over, and then that's a Hanuman. So maybe this is actually kind of hard. Take a picture of this, post it on the Discord as well. Alright, yeah, I don't know. Should I call or not? What are the chances that I can get to Tenpai if I don't call? I still technically have 7 pairs, but it's already like the 7th turn, and so that's pretty low chance, regardless of what I do. If I go for a regular hand, that's not super bad, but that's about, looks like almost the same as 7 pairs, or maybe even less. And if I call, it might be okay. Especially if this person is like panicking, they're like, oh, I have to keep Tenpai, or I have to, you know, win a hand to stop this person. They already discard some dangerous tiles. The question is, will they keep doing that if I open? If they do, then opening is better here. Wakannai. Inserta. It seems easier to just go for 7 pairs if you want Hanuman. Maybe, but like, well, for 7 pairs, if you're one Shanten with 7 pairs, it takes an average of like 14 turns to get just from one Shanten to Tenpai. Let alone on my hand right now, where it's going to already be like the 6th turn, and I am, what is this, 2 Shanten away. Whereas if I do open up my hand, I can actually call for it. And getting an 8,000 point hand is actually pretty easy if I open. The harder part is getting a Hanuman. Yeah, maybe passing out for Hanuman would be better. So many questions, I don't know. Why is Mahjong hard? Then again, if it wasn't semi-hard, I probably wouldn't be playing it. Actually, I think calling here is okay. Because even without the Dora, I still technically have the chance to get Toy Toy as well. And if I do get this, then I have a Dora right here. Toy Toy Honitsu is also a potential. So I don't need the other Dora necessarily. Plus, I think getting the East is a little bit easier. This is going to be the hard part, though. But 7 pairs just seems really questionable. But if I do get Tenpai for that, I don't need a Dora or anything because I already have enough Dora. Assuming that I draw a 4 or a 5. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's send this to Xkine. So, we'll see what he says. Alright, and that's the last note that I have for this game at least. So, thanks for watching, and it's already 6, so I should probably eat once today. And after I do that, I'll probably be streaming some more, so yeah. If you're around, definitely watch. I hopefully won't play really bad. This one is really questionable. The funny thing was, they were willing to push, and then they were Tenpai. Which wants me to ask, like, if they did draw another 3 right here, would they have dropped it? Against the dealer, probably not. But without the dealership, maybe. Like, if they drew one right here, they might drop it to keep their Tenpai. So interesting. Alright, so, thanks for watching.